Greetings and salutations, and this is Tech Plays here, back with more Resident Evil Requiem, and yeah, I am a little late with recording this week's videos, but let's get to it. I need to drink some water. I started this without drinking any water, that was a bad idea. So we're on the sniper section. I'll say this now. This was
got it covered.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be like similar to that one room in RE4 Remake where you had to protect Ashley while she goes to turn, like, I think it's valves or something, I forget. We had to lift her up to a higher level, she goes to turn the valves, enemies go after Ashley and Leon. You have to fight them off. I thought it was going to be as bad as that, but no. It kind of is on Insanity because they spawn blister heads. They spawn blister heads up where Leon is. It does become as bad as that on Insanity, but unless you're playing Insanity, no, this is a pretty fun section. Just be warned on Insanity, because you do get blister head spawns. You do get blister head spawns right behind you. I don't know why I can't fucking talk right now. But yeah. And you might be going, why am I doing this video before I am doing the Tomb Raider video? Because last week I did the Tomb Raider video first in the recordings. And that made it where I forced myself to do the Tomb Raider video for the week. Well, I'm deciding to just do them in order. That way I can start on a high note, end on a high note type of deal, because I do love the Tomb Raider Let's Play. It is fun. The video last week actually got a good amount of views, surprisingly. That actually surprised me, because I was like, this Let's Play is not really doing well. That's part of why I was losing enthusiasm, because it wasn't really doing well. But it was also just because I beat the game like a couple months ago. My enthusiasm usually dies down the further in a Let's Play I get because of how long ago I beat the game for the Let's Play. The reason it hasn't really died down pretty much at all for Resident Evil Requiem is because Resident Evil Requiem is a game I full-on platinumed. I technically didn't stop playing this game until like half a month ago. 2-3 weeks ago, just about. So yeah, this game is not in that area of I beat it a while ago, I'm now bored with it just yet. I have thought about like recording a bunch of commentary as soon as I beat a Let's Play, just so like that doesn't happen, but I don't usually have the energy to record more than a couple of videos of commentary at a time, which is why I haven't done that. But yeah. Pretty fun section either way. Pretty fun section either way.
Hang in there, Grace.
So what are my plans going forward? Because I'm struggling financially right now. I can't afford to renew my Amuse. So after like my next album releases, I won't be able to release music for a little bit. I probably am just gonna like use that as a excuse to take kind of like a hiatus from music. Maybe take a little longer on my next project than usual, because I usually only spend like half a year on a project and then release like a few singles, then the album. So I think on my next project, I'll probably take a little more time. I'll probably take a little hiatus as well and just kind of take a break until I'm able to afford to renew my Amuse. I've also lost my PS Plus and won't be able to renew that for a while, so there are a couple Let's Plays that I was planning to eventually do, like the Resident Evil 1 Remake and Alone in the Dark, that are going to have to be pushed back because those are games I own through PS Plus. I will be able to do other games in their place, though, because I think the original plan for next season of Tech Plays was to do the Revelations games, then the season after do RE1 Remake, and whatever else. Like, that was the plan, but I think now I'm going to do one Revelation game per season, and this is just in case RE games release and I'm able to afford them. I'm also thinking of doing some older games too. I'm considering doing some other games. Haven't decided which ones yet. I'm still considering maybe doing one last 5th game for this season after one of these 2 Let's Plays concludes. I can start recording that, but
Grace,
not quite sure yet. We'll have to see when I get there.
who is she?
Normally I'd shut up because cutscene, but yeah, fuck
Hey,
it.
look at me. We're gonna be okay. Yeah,
I do have one
can't stay here.
little bitty
Should be the
complaint
water
here.
treatment plant.
It's not really about the game itself, but it's about a choice Capcom has done. I am a little tired of Claire and Jill being sidelined for so long.
I just don't give up.
And when I learned that, like, in the earlier stages of this game, they were planning on bringing Jill back with Leon, I kind of felt robbed. Like, okay, I like this direction a lot more. Let's be real. I do like the survival horror heavy direction a lot more. That's the part of RE I much prefer. But the Revelations games proved you can still do that with the more experienced characters, including Leon. He wasn't in those games, but Chris was. Chris was in Rev 1, and Rev 1 takes place like a year or so before RE5. So literally, almost RE5 Chris could still be used in the survival horror environment, as could Jill, who's basically on Chris's level. So, oh, okay. So y'all didn't see that. That never happened. Okay. That never happened. Anyway, back to my little ramble here. I feel like the Revelations games use of Barry, Jill, Claire, and Chris kind of screams, oh, these guys can still fit survival horror. So Capcom's whole thing of, first of all, their thing of like saying Leon couldn't fit this game because it's going to be survival horror heavy, and then using Leon anyway, partially proves that point, but they mainly use Leon for action-heavy sections, which I get, because people love the RE4 remake. I get why they did this. But I really, really think they should have still used Jill. Because Leon's been used a lot lately, too. Like, I know Chris has been, like, overloaded into the series at this point, because Bro's been in the past... Literally, this is the first mainline game Chris has not been, like... When I say mainline, I'm talking about numbered entry. This is the first numbered entry Chris... Well, numbered entries in Code Veronica, but back to what I was saying. This is the first numbered entry since RE4 that Chris has not been in. Let that sink in. And Leon has been in two recent remakes. I think Jill deserved to be in this game more than Leon. Especially because Jill was a resident of Raccoon City. Now, that's not a complaint of the game. Look, I love Leon. I love this game. I love damn near everything about this game. I only have like 2 small complaints about it. And I think I've already covered them. I don't know if I have, but I think I've already covered them. This game is almost perfection to me. So, like, this isn't me, like, saying the game is bad because it used Leon instead of Jill. No, this is me saying Capcom should have used Jill instead of Leon. I'm really hoping they use Jill for RE10, or at least Claire. Give one of them the spotlight outside of a Revelations game or remake. I know there's rumored to be an RE1 remake now, so I'm hoping that whenever that comes out, Capcom will go, hey, let's do a similar thing that we've done in the past games. Like, we had Leon in the RE4 remake and then used him in RE9. Why don't we have Jill in the RE1 remake and then use her in RE10, or use the same logic with Claire? We use her in the Code Veronica remake, use her in 10. Rebecca, use her in the RE0 remake, use her in 10. See, you see my point here? Like, I think they should follow that. If they end up following the idea of using Chris in the RE10, I'm going to fucking scream. I'm telling you. First of all, if Chris is the main protagonist of RE10, and there's no Jill, Claire, or Rebecca in sight, I might not even play the game. I'm just gonna tell you that now. Because I'm so fucking tired of Chris. If he's a side character again, like he was in RE8 and 9, or not 9, RE7 and 8, I might still play the. I'm probably still gonna play the game because it'll have another protagonist. But good fucking hell, I'm just tired of Chris. Bro, rest. I get like he's popular and everything, but like I feel like Leon and Jill should be like the faces of the franchise, not Leon and Chris. That's my opinion because Jill and Leon literally have the most iconic parts in series history. If I'm being real with you, no boulder punching is not iconic. We don't talk about that. And yes, I will acknowledge Claire and Chris have done iconic things as well, but it really is starting to feel obvious that Capcom doesn't give a fuck about Jill. After how bad the RE3 remake was, and then like them not using Jill in any recent RE game. They almost used Ada in RE8 but cut her, so we at least almost got one of the old female characters there, but like, fuck, I feel robbed is basically it. They could have easily just slotted Jill in instead of Leon. Just replace the parry with the dodge. It would have been that easy. You could have kept the case if you want to make her very RE4 like. She's on a similar skill level to Leon anyway, so like you really wouldn't be changing much from a gameplay perspective aside from changing aside from swapping out the parry for the dodge, but I don't know. I just feel robbed, man. Leon's gotten to shine twice in recent years. Claire got to shine once, but Jill has not gotten to shine at all since Revelations. It makes me feel robbed because Jill's my favorite protagonist in the series. Like, I really do feel robbed for that. And I really do think, like, a Jill and Grace dynamic would have been interesting. I think Capcom's just... I think they're scared and allergic to making all the protagonists female, even though they've done that. They've almost done that before with Rev 2, where 3 out of 4 of the game's protagonists were female, but, you know, whatever. I think Rev 2's literally got one of the best lineup of protagonists in series history, and does the 4 protagonists thing better, way better than RE6 could dream to do. So, and that's because RE6 tries to do 8. But you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. I feel like Rev 2 is like the most underrated game in the series. I think I've already talked about that before. I've mentioned how, like, I don't know if I've got into detail on why, but I've mentioned how, like, both RE8 and RE9 and the RE4 remake kind of remind me a lot of Rev 2, and it kind of makes me think Capcom has been taking notes from Rev 2 for years now on their games. But yeah. But that's just a theory. A game theory! Sorry, I had to do the thing.
Here you go. I need to keep you safe. Okay?
This might be one of my favorite parts of the game, by the way, what's coming up. This boss is really good. I know some people don't consider it a boss because you're not damaging her directly, but let me play devil's advocate here. I consider it a boss. I love this boss because of the weird way you have to fight it, because you can't fight it the traditional way. But guess what? This ain't the first boss in series history you had to do that to. Literally, take Lisa Trevor from RE1 Remake. You can't attack her directly. Sure, most players, unless you choose for some reason not to trust Barry, I don't know why you would, Heartless Monster, but sure, like, basically, most players who play RE1 will have Barry help them shoot Lisa Trevor, but shooting her doesn't do shit. You have to shove off all the things, and then she drops. Like, she looks at the like, I forget exactly how it goes, but you don't fight her traditionally. Again, in RE Revelations 2, you don't fight Neil traditionally either. You have to hit him with fire or flashbangs, etc., etc. You have to hit him with shit that sets him ablaze. And when you set him ablaze, then you can attack. Yes, you can still shoot him, but that's not the point. The fact is, you still had to do something out of the ordinary for an RE boss. My point is, this is a very Resident Evil boss. It's not the only time in the series you have to do something like this. It is a very Resident Evil boss. And anybody who says this isn't a boss is an idiot, because in my opinion, this is one of the top 3 bosses in the game. Because of how creative it is. I love this boss. Do I think that Grace should have gotten a more traditional style RE boss later on where you're shooting the enemy? Yeah, probably, because that would have completed, like, her arc from being, like, defenseless to, like, fully capable. I also think they should have given her another weapon besides just handguns by the end game. Like, yeah, you got the Magnum for the early game, but, like, give her a second gun. Give her, like, an SMG or a crossbow or something. Something, like, something interesting like that, yeah. That's just my thoughts, honestly. That's the only thing I would have changed about Grace's part of the game. Grace's part of the game is almost perfection for me. Like, I think the couple issues I actually do have to, like, complain about come from Leon, if I remember correctly. Because Grace's portion of the game is damn near perfection. Literally, only thing I think would have made it better is if you gave her, like, an in-game boss. Have her in-game boss take place before you switch to Leon in the arc, before Leon enters the arc, because of the opening Grace made. Give her, like, a boss fight in a room or something, and you give her, like, a second weapon when she first enters the arc, a shotgun, an SMG, crossbow, something, and then you fight this boss traditionally, showing that she's, you know, leveled up. That's what I would have done. I do kind of miss that, I do kind of miss that classic RE progression here a little bit. I think Grace's gameplay is almost perfection, because she still does unlock other ways of killing enemies, and this does add progression to it. But I do think she should have had, like, another weapon type in the end game to kind of give her a little more progression and a second boss fight. But that might just be me. I hope if she returns for another RE game, they do give her more of the classic RE progression, because I really do miss that. It's the one thing missing from this game, in my honest opinion, because Grace's sections are, well, only thing missing from Grace's sections is that classic RE progression. It's subtly there because you get the Molotovs and the acid and shit, but still, it's still missing a little bit. Like, the game's almost perfect on her half. If they would have just given her another weapon near the end and a normal RE boss near the end, Grace's half of the game would have been perfect. Would have been perfection. It's almost there already. This is my top-rated RE game of all time for a reason. That isn't just like, hold on.
Give me a break.
Damn, I wish I still had some peppermint. My throat needs to be cleared badly. I would drink some tea, but I'm out of sweetener. I would make myself a hot cup of tea. I got a tea bag sitting over here, but I'm out of sweetener. Which, yeah, doesn't bode well for me. Because I can't have sugar. Well, I can have a little bit of sugar, but I don't want to have sugar in my tea. I might make an exception this one time if my throat's still feeling this way after this recording. I might make an exception this time and be like, okay, I can have 2 teaspoons of sugar for this 1 cup of tea. I might make an exception for that, but we'll see. I don't want to, because, like, I'd rather a little bit of sugar I have, I'd rather, like, save it for stuff like popsicles or juice, like stuff that I really like to enjoy that's pretty low sugar as is, but, you know. I know what you're thinking. Popsicles, juice, really low sugar. What are you talking about? They got a lot of sugar. I get kinds that don't. I get low sugar ones. That's kind of what I mean. Because I do get low sugar ones instead of sugar-free. I do get sugar-free juice here and there, but I try not to, like, overdo the sweetener. Because I know like a lot of artificial sweetener is bad for you. But yeah, my throat's still like this when
Only one more.
I finish this video. I'll definitely drink a cup of tea with some sugar. I don't wanna, but I try to keep sugar low as possible. And the thing is, this diet isn't a thing I'm gonna have to do permanently. It's probably just gonna be something I have to go through for a few months, and I'll probably be fine. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And sugar isn't even like the big culprit of what's wrong with me either. It's like it's just a thing that they told me to tone down on eating. It was a whole other thing that like that's driven my diet, not the sugar. The other thing has been the thing that's really hard, because sugar is like an easy thing for me to like kick. The other thing has been really hard because like it's really limited my diet. At first it didn't feel like it because there were so many things I could still eat. There were so many loopholes around the diet, but eventually like I realized, oh shit, it's kind of cut what I can eat in half. Like the amount of stuff I can eat in half, which is yeah, it could be worse. There are definitely diets that could be worse. I could have been on a sodium diet, which meant I could only eat like 5% of what I already eat. So that would have been a nightmare diet right there, a sodium diet. That would have been a nightmare. That was the one diet, because I knew that like they were gonna tell me, oh, you gotta go on suck on a diet. I saw that coming. Even though like I have been like slowly converting to a healthier diet over the years anyway, I wasn't eating entirely healthy, so I kind of saw it coming. But like I was afraid it was gonna be a sodium diet, which would have meant I could only eat 5% of what I usually eat. Like I'm not joking either. Like the only shit that don't have sodium in it is literally fresh fruits and veggies. That's it. That's all I would be able to eat. That'd be miserable. I love fruits, I love veggies, but I don't want that to be the only thing I fucking eat. You know what I mean? I'd probably be able to eat unsalted peanuts, but unsalted peanuts are kind of a not great.
Come on.
Trust me on that, they're not great. The main issue would have come from meals though, because I could have probably adapted to eating like fruit for snacks, and I could have adapted to eating veggies as a side for most meals, but I wouldn't be able to eat like wouldn't be able to eat rice, pasta. Probably wouldn't be able to eat chicken. I'm not sure on that one. I don't know. I'd have to. Like it's something I would have had to look into, but I know that like 90% of food would have been off the table for me if it was a sodium diet, which is what I was afraid it was going to be, but luckily it wasn't.
Emily, it's me. Emily? Oh no! Wake up! Come on! Oh no! Oh, Emily! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
This part is heartbreaking. I ain't gonna lie. On every playthrough, this part's heartbreaking. Even with the knowledge that Emily survives this game. It's not heartbreaking because, like, you think Emily dies. It's heartbreaking because of Grace's reaction. Even because, like, especially, like, that's what keeps it heartbreaking on replays, is because Grace's reaction makes me so sad here. It really does. I'm like, poor Grace. Grace gotta go through it.
Emily. I wanted to save her.
You don't understand. It's
No, I never would have escaped without her. This is all my fault. Again.
Look, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we're still alive. We have to keep going.
No.
Grace.
Alpus is within reach, Grace. I'd like you to come with me.
Come with you.
Well, you feel lost, but you're not. You're exactly where you need to be.
I've been waiting for you, Grace.
Who are you?
Raccoon City. You're the reason for its destruction, but you're also the key to building a brave new world. You're the final piece. Let us show you your true purpose.
Anyway, we're going to be ending it off right about here. So, bye.